Good evening, everyone. I hope you find this report informational and enlightening. Tonight, we're taking a closer look at Turning Point USA's first major national gathering since the death of its founder, Charlie Kirk, and what the event reveals about the organization's rapid growth, internal tensions, and its evolving role inside the broader MAGA movement. AmericaFest 2025, held in Phoenix, was more than a political conference. It served simultaneously as a tribute, a test of organizational strength, and a public stage for ideological disputes, now shaping conservative politics heading toward the next election cycle. Turning Point USA's AmericaFest 2025 drew approximately 30,000 attendees to the Phoenix Convention Center, with ticket sales capped at roughly 31,000 due to fire safety limits. That attendance marked a significant increase from the previous year's event, which drew about 21,000 people when Donald Trump appeared as president-elect. The main program featured a lineup of high-profile Republican figures, including Vice President J.D. Vance, House Speaker Mike Johnson, and Donald Trump Jr. Their participation reinforced TPUSA's position as a central gathering point for national Republican leadership and pro-Trump activists. Inside the convention center, the event was visually framed as a tribute to Charlie Kirk. A large portrait, accompanied by the phrase, "We are all Charlie Kirk," dominated common areas, while signage and messaging emphasized unity, perseverance, and what organizers described as Kirk's lasting legacy. Supporters posed for photos, and speakers frequently referenced his influence, presenting the conference as evidence that TPUSA had emerged from tragedy stronger and more energized. Organizers highlighted early morning lines, packed sessions, and sold-out programming as proof that the organization's momentum had not slowed since Kirk's death, but instead intensified. Charlie Kirk was assassinated on September 10, 2025, while speaking at an outdoor Turning Point USA event at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. During the campus appearance, which drew an estimated 3,000 attendees, a single gunshot from a rooftop struck Kirk in the neck. Police arrested 22-year-old Tyler James Robinson shortly after the attack. Prosecutors charged Robinson with aggravated murder, described the shooting as politically motivated, and announced their intention to seek the death penalty. Kirk, just 31 years old at the time of his death, had become one of the most visible figures in youth-oriented conservative politics and a close ally of Donald Trump. His assassination triggered extensive conservative media coverage, large memorial events, and an outpouring of tributes that framed him as both a victim of political violence and a catalyst for renewed activism. At the same time, his death sparked a wave of conspiracy theories and internal disputes within the political right, debates over responsibility, motives, and how the event should be discussed publicly. Those disputes continue to shape TPUSA's messaging and speaker choices, and they were visible throughout AmericaFest. Turning Point USA does not publish a single, independently audited membership figure, and publicly available numbers vary depending on how membership is defined. However, multiple sources document rapid growth in campus chapters following Kirk's assassination. TPUSA materials and allied coverage describe the organization as active on more than 3,500 college campuses and over 1,000 high schools nationwide, often calling it the largest conservative student movement in the country. In the immediate aftermath of Kirk's death and the subsequent memorial service, TPUSA reported a sharp increase in interest. Internal figures cited in conservative media claimed more than 60,000 pre-existing requests to start campus chapters, followed by over 120,000 additional inquiries in the days after the memorial. At the time, TPUSA said it already operated roughly 900 college chapters and about 1,200 high school chapters. Later reporting and fact checks note that TPUSA emphasizes footprint, chapters, events, and campus presence, rather than a single count of active student members. Estimates ranging from hundreds of thousands to nearly 1 million students reflect differing and sometimes promotional definitions, rather than a standardized metric. Founded by Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA built its brand around campus activism, speaker tours, and aggressive social media outreach aimed at younger conservatives. Over time, the organization expanded into high school organizing, large-scale conferences like AmericaFest, digital media operations, and policy-adjacent initiatives. One of those initiatives, known as Club America, has been promoted by Republican governors in states such as Florida and Texas as a way to bring TPUSA-aligned clubs into more public schools. This infrastructure gives TPUSA significant influence as a pipeline connecting donors, conservative media figures, elected officials, and young activists. As a result, disputes playing out within the organization, particularly over issues like Israel, anti-Semitism, and the boundaries of acceptable rhetoric, carry implications beyond TPUSA itself, shaping the broader MAGA coalition as it looks toward the 2028 election cycle. Coverage of AmericaFest 2025 focused heavily on escalating feuds among prominent conservative figures, particularly around anti-Semitism, Israel, and conspiracy narratives related to Kirk's death. During his main stage appearance, commentator Ben Shapiro sharply criticized fellow right-wing media figures. He accused Megyn Kelly of failing to adequately condemn rhetoric by Candace Owens related to Kirk's killing, and he criticized Tucker Carlson for hosting white nationalist Nick Fuentes, calling that decision an act of moral imbecility. Carlson responded by mocking the backlash and minimizing concerns about anti-Semitism. Steve Bannon attacked Shapiro with inflammatory language, while Kelly dismissed Shapiro's remarks as petty and self-serving. These exchanges effectively turned TPUSA's flagship event into a public arena for disputes over who defines the moral and ideological boundaries of pro-Trump media. TPUSA representatives, for their part, argued that such confrontations align with Kirk's commitment to open debate and free expression. They framed the conflicts as evidence of internal accountability and insisted that allowing disagreements to play out publicly is part of the organization's culture. Media coverage of TPUSA's post-Kirk moment varies widely by outlet. Left-leaning and mainstream outlets, including The Guardian and CNN, emphasize AmericaFest as a showcase of internal feuds, concerns about anti-Semitism, and the normalization of fringe figures. These reports often frame TPUSA as a movement grappling with radicalization and the risks of politicizing martyrdom. Axios has focused on what it describes as a MAGA media mess, portraying TPUSA as a central stage where once-aligned conservative media elites are splintering over Israel, anti-Semitism, and conspiracy theories. By contrast, TPUSA and allied outlets highlight record-breaking attendance, surging chapter requests, and loyalty to Charlie Kirk's vision. They present internal disputes as proof of vigorous debate and frame Kirk as a martyr whose death has accelerated activism and strengthened the organization's mission. Turning Point USA's rapid post-assassination growth demonstrates how political violence can galvanize a movement's base, transforming grief into recruitment and institution building. At the same time, the conflicts on display at AmericaFest reveal a coalition struggling to define its limits, particularly around anti-Semitism, conspiracy thinking, and internal accountability. Because TPUSA connects students, donors, media figures, and elected officials, how it resolves or simply manages these tensions will influence not only campus politics, but also the tone and priorities of Republican and pro-Trump politics heading toward 2028 and beyond. Thank you, fellow sheepdogs. Watch over the flock, stay vigilant, and hold fast to the profession of our faith without wavering. Please like, subscribe, and share. This really helps the old sheepdog.